Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are Mouth of the Mark. We're a day late, but certainly not a dollar short. We are here on a Tuesday evening to review last night's Monday Night Raw. Due to contractual obligations and scheduling conflicts, we were put off for 24 hours. No, I'm just kidding. It's all Daniel's fault.
It was indeed my fault. I am a nervous Nancy, and I got a little OCD, and I had to get my stuff organized and packed for my little baby tour that I'm doing with We Are the Finale next week. So yeah, or actually
Yeah.
tomorrow. We leave tomorrow. The first show is tomorrow.
Good Lord, it's already here. Like
It's here, man.
it snuck up. Like I didn't think it was this soon. I thought we still had like a week or 2 weeks before you poofed. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, it worked out. This run is like, I mean, I don't even like calling it a tour because it's like 5 dates. But you know, this shouldn't interfere with anything. This is just like get our feet wet type thing. With this lineup, we haven't toured yet, so it's kind of a way for us to, feel each other out on the road and make sure everything's going to go over smoothly. And then hopefully we'll do the Warped Tour date and just.
that's cool, man. That's cool. Although for some reason you just froze on my end, which is never healthy. Well, I think I'm here by myself because he is frozen. Awesome. Technical difficulties brought to you by Mouth of the Mark. Let's see.
Restart this.
Aha. Now I hear you.
Oh, you got me?
I got you, bruh.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I couldn't do it last night.
Yay. The technical difficulties have passed. We are now bringing you back to your originally scheduled broadcast. Or
Yes.
webcast. All right, let's get right to the meat and potatoes of it. I have my notes, which makes me one prepared Matt today, which is completely different than usual. So let's start it off. I mean, everybody knows that Dusty Rhodes passed away last week, and everybody knew that not only for Money in the Bank, but for Raw, we were getting the Dusty Rhodes video package at the beginning of Raw. And it was the third or fourth time that I've seen it, and it still just hits me right in the feels. Like that package, I mean, that was a very good package for Dusty. I like that it shows more than just his WWE stuff. Like it shows all of his NWA stuff and all that.
Yeah.
So like, it was a great package.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, Dustin has come out and posted stuff as far as like, his thoughts on it and everything, but Cody's been radio silent, like period, radio silent since his dad died. So
I actually hear that this was something similar to this. Obviously you don't plan a death, but something similar to this was kind of in the works. It's obvious that like the whole Cody thing was going on and they were playing the long game with that. I heard that some of the works was for him to just come back and do a few more Stardust matches, then kind of throw a hissy fit and just disappear for a little while anyway. But I think that they're just going to go ahead and take this advantage to just use it. And honestly, if they're really smart, they'll bring him back in a big way at either Battleground or SummerSlam and just capitalize on it. Kind of similar to the way they did with Rey Mysterio when Eddie Guerrero passed. They were already planning on giving him a push anyway, but it just set him over the top. He won the world title. And I think that something like that for Cody would be huge. It would be nice to have a good wrestling babyface and have Cody Rhodes back. I think it's now's the time to pull the trigger on Cody Rhodes for the world title, in my opinion. I mean, after maybe not the world title, but the main event. Once Brock Lesnar takes the belt away for a few months again.
Right. I mean, the thing is like you know that it would be in the Dusty playbook to capitalize on something like this, and
absolutely.
I don't see why they wouldn't. Actually, Corey and I were talking about that. If Cody Rhodes does not come back and get pushed to the moon, I will be so surprised because it seems like they do this all the time. And of course, my wife is making the Stardust gesture because she's in love with Stardust. But I mean, I can't see how they can leave him as Stardust. He's coming back as Cody Rhodes.
Well, I don't think that we've seen the last of Stardust, but I think they're going to capitalize on this Cody Rhodes thing for now. I do think that it's going to be something that's like a Mick Foley-esque type thing where he can go back to Stardust from time to time. or maybe even similar to Finn Balor. But I think that we haven't seen the last of it. But I do think that we will see Cody Rhodes again before we see Stardust again.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Stardust is a gimmick that he can go back to on rare appearances or like on brief periods of his career. But like back to Dusty. Dusty was such a big part of professional wrestling in general, not just WWE. But it's really sad to see him go. And
it was a shock, man.
To us it was, but then you start hearing some of the stories about, that his radical weight loss wasn't because he was trying to get healthy, but because he was sick. And then you hear JR saying, how he has kept asking Dusty what was wrong and all this stuff. So I don't know if it was that big of a shock for everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, they say that he fell in his home and his kidneys failed. I guess we're not really ever going to know, or maybe we will.
I'm sure he probably had cancer.
It had to be something. It had to be something, man.
Liver failure, something like that. I mean, the dude did drink like a horse his whole life. So,
yeah. So, but, I'm sure eventually with the way we are as marks, we will find out eventually. It's just, it's a matter of time, and, we just don't know right now. But after the Dusty package, we opened with Seth Rollins coming out to brag his world title win, and he cut a pretty solid promo. He bashed Cleveland in general. He resorted to bashing Cleveland, trashed LeBron James and Johnny Manziel, who was at ringside. And then Ambrose comes out. Obviously, Ambrose comes out and they brawl a little bit. Seth kind of disappears, and Ambrose ain't leaving until Rollins comes back. So that was the opening segment. I liked it. It made sense for Ambrose to come out. I'm glad they weren't kind of like I'm glad they didn't just drop Ambrose off. You know what I mean? Like after the ladder match.
Yeah.
I'm glad he still had some TV time in the beginning, and it wasn't a 20-minute promo. With the Dusty thing, it was 20 minutes before we got our first match. But the 10-minute to 15-minute actual Seth and Ambrose promo was actually kind of a bit of fresh air. Yeah. I gave that little segment spot a B, just by itself, just because it was some pretty good mic work from Seth. And Ambrose came out, got short, little brawl, and then just came out and was like, hey, I ain't going nowhere until I get to fight Seth Rollins again because I just like beating him up, So I gave that a B. What did you think about that short little opening segment?
I thought the segment was great. I thought the Rollins promo was great. And, to me – I bitch about New Day using local sports teams and local sports figures and always trying to get heat off that. But I feel like Rollins did it the right way. Everything he was saying was right on point, especially with the NBA Finals happening and the Johnny Idiot Face line was perfect. Having Johnny Manziel sitting there, and that's coming from a big Texas A&M fan. I still have it in my heart that I hope that Johnny Manziel figures it out and works out in the NFL. But if he doesn't, then he did great for Texas A&M, and we appreciate that. But anyway, I thought the segment was really good, but I did feel kind of like the sit-in was played out. I feel like that's got to stop, man. I feel like once every 3 or 4 months, it just kind of happens. That's not his fault. I'm actually not putting that off on Ambrose. I just feel like I'm kind of tired of that happening, especially when you come back from commercial and he's still sitting in the ring. I just felt like it's come on, man. That was poorly done. But one thing I did want to touch on was before, actually, in the pre-show, I know we don't ever watch the Raw pre-show, but for some reason, because I was packing, I had it on. And The Miz actually cut a promo after the pay-per-view on Sunday. There was a WWE exclusive, and they did a promo on him and Big Show and Ryback, and it was phenomenal. That promo he delivered was very believable. It wasn't cheesy Miz. It was really, really good. If you get a chance, go back and watch the pre-show just for that promo because, I don't know, man. There's something weird. I got, bitten somewhere or something, but there's this slow, approval of the Miz just happening in my fandom. I'm enjoying Miz a lot more now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his work. I don't know what he's changed, but there's something about him that I really like now.
It's, for me, and see, I didn't hate the Miz like a lot of people did. I liked Miz as a heel. I hated him as a face. I don't like Miz as a face at all. But
When
Miz
has
is
he
a
been a face,
heel. I mean, he was a face. He turned face. Oh man, like he did the whole angle where Ric Flair came out and he started using the.
Oh
figure
yeah. That was so brief though. I'd say out of his entire career, he's been a heel 70 to 75% of the time.
Yeah. I mean, he was only a face for like what, a 6 to 8 month period. I mean, it wasn't.
Maybe if that.
Yeah, it wasn't a long period of time, but like that was terrible compared to all of his heel work. I mean, I liked his heel work whenever he cashed in on Randy Orton. I liked his heel work with Alex Riley when Alex Riley turned. His feud with Daniel Bryan. I mean, he had some pretty good runs as a heel, man. I mean, so there was a lot of hate on him being a reality guy and then coming into wrestling.
Yeah.
And but the guy is so good at getting heat. Like even if he was a shit wrestler, like he's a heater. Like just throw him as a manager and let him be a heater.
I mean, his mic work is supreme, dude. Like honestly, I feel like if he hadn't have been a reality star before he got his chance in WWE, he might be one of the biggest stars of all time. And I'm being dead serious, especially with his mic work. Maybe not necessarily his ring work, but as a superstar entertainer, like he could have been. I mean, if he hadn't had people that just hate him for being on The Real World, that guy could have been phenomenally good. At least just mic work.
Oh, and you know how you can tell. Because look how we're sitting here, and literally I just watched you pause, and you were trying to think of somebody to compare him to. But there really is nobody. Like, he could have been that little niche. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where his ring work lacked compared to, like, an Edge, like, his mic work was there to be a wrestling, not Paul Heyman, but, up there. Like, up there with that really good heater mic work.
He can hang with John Cena on the mic.
He's
a top level A+ promo mic guy. I'd say he's a B- to B+ at best ring work, but I do think he's an A+ on the stick, man.
Yeah, he's great on the mic. That no doubt there. And it's just now he's got the Hollywood gimmick, so he can just use that just, I was on reality TV, now I'm a movie star, you're worse than me, I'm better than you. He can just use that now without having to worry about super backlash. You know what I mean? So like it's working for him now. So that's cool. But when they came back off a commercial, Sheamus hit the ring and we had Sheamus versus Ambrose. Overall, I gave the match a solid C+. And I'll tell you why I didn't get a B for me. Two things. Number one, it lost some flair because I really do not want to see Randy Orton versus Sheamus. And, of course, after Money in the Bank, Orton comes out during the match as Sheamus tries to run away and basically stops him. And Ambrose hits him in the back, gets him back in the ring, and finishes it. But what really gets me about what they're doing with these matches, this is 2 weeks in a row that I've seen Sheamus hit some variation of the bro kick going into a commercial where he hits the bro kick, the guy rolls to the outside, and they cut to commercial. They did it with Ziggler, where Ziggler took like a bro knee, like not even a kick, it was like a knee, and then Ziggler went to the outside and Sheamus took advantage, and they did it this week with Ambrose. And I cannot tell you how much it pisses me off devaluing finishers, especially like a striking finisher like the bro kick.
Yeah, not only that, man. Not only that, but I feel like Sheamus recycles a lot of spots. Like, and I think he's a really good worker. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a really good in-ring talent. I'm actually on the train for Sheamus. Like, I think he's a good heel. I don't like that he's getting another rocket push. I don't think that he's supposed to be, at least not now. The vibe of the crowd, just even as a heel, nobody wants him in the main event right now, and that's nothing against him. Like when people booed Randy Orton versus him, like, dude, both those guys are phenomenal workers. We're just kind of tired of seeing it. It's not that we're down on Sheamus. It's that nobody wants him in the main event picture right now, and that's not like, and that's real heat. That's a shoot heat. That's not like, oh, the crowd just wants to hate him. It's like, no, we just don't want to see him in the main event. Not right now. Your show is so jam-packed with people now that you're giving guys that are perfect, like semi-main guys, perfect guys to prep for the main event, perfect guys to kind of steal the show here and there. But I feel like Sheamus is just one of those guys that he recycles a lot of spots. He seems to take the easy way a lot of times with his work. And I mean, I really hope that this whole Money in the Bank thing for him is a very, very, very long game play.
I think it has to be, just because there's such a large pool of people already at the top. I can see him having a long run with the briefcase, kind of like Ziggler did. Ziggler held on to it for a while. Even Miz and Edge held on to it for a while. I'm certainly glad that he didn't have a Kane. Well, yeah, Rollins did too, but I'm certainly glad that he didn't have a Kane kind of night where he won it and he cashed it in. We had talked about that happening with Roman Reigns or with Kofi, but I'm glad that they didn't do that with Sheamus.
Although I do feel like a Sheamus Lesnar match with Lesnar as the babyface would be pretty damn good.
I agree, and actually,
we're just not ready for it yet. Just pump the brakes. Just give us time. We've got a couple other guys that the IWC wants to see in line before him. So just come on now. Just slow play this Sheamus thing, please.
Right.
Please, Vince.
Right. Just slow it down a tad. Like, I know usually they wait a while, but like give it an extra pump or two on the brakes. Maybe like at Extreme Rules or at like a Payback after Mania or something like, and maybe not even that long. Maybe like a Survivor Series or something. But give it time for like some of the other stuff leading into and after summer to take place. There's a lot of guys that really need to get some of that main card shine right now.
In a perfect world, I would hope that Sheamus has his title run between November and Royal Rumble. So I hope he has it for like 2 months and that's it.
That's what I'm saying. Like a Survivor Series thing, and then going like into Royal Rumble, he loses it, or like at Royal Rumble, he loses it. You know what I mean? That way he's not main card Mania. Maybe like even. I doubt Roman's going to win 2 in a row, so it'll be interesting to see who they have win the Rumble. But that's a long ways away. So after the match with Sheamus and Orton, Sheamus and Orton. Orton was involved. After Sheamus and Ambrose with Orton doing the little gimmick here, which of course it seems we are inevitably going to get a Sheamus and Randy Orton feud, which I hate. But backstage, we had Seth Rollins and J&J Security backstage. Seth kind of being all cocky, saying he did it by himself. He doesn't need J&J Security. And basically the Authority is going to be picking Seth Rollins' next opponent. And Joey Mercury says that they should pick him, which is awesome because I love Joey Mercury. And both Seth and Joey have pretty good chemistry together, and Joey cut a pretty solid couple of lines of promo work. Seth carried most of it, obviously, but Joey really delivered on the promo, and so did Jamie Noble. It was a cool little short promo, man, where that it was just enough. It was just enough to where they're sowing more, distrust and like just. The knife is in the back with the Authority, So I like the segment.
See, what bothers me about that, though, is it just seems like to me that they would make more sense for them to turn Rollins face and instead of turning the entire Authority face. You know what I mean? Like,
no, man, no. Because see, here's the problem. The problem is like go back and watch, watch Extreme Rules. Watch Extreme Rules. Is it Extreme Rules? Was the Fatal 4 was it Extreme Rules or Payback?
I don't remember which show it was on.
But I think it was Extreme Rules. It was Payback because Extreme Rules was just Orton and they were in the cage with no RKO. So Payback was the Fatal 4-way, and like they teased the power. They did the powerbomb spot where they teased the reunion, but more people popped for Seth getting his ass kicked than the powerbomb spot. So if you turn Seth face,
I don't know, dude. I think it was just because they knew it was coming, but people popped pretty hard for the Shield. And I'm not saying turn him face and bring the Shield back. I'm saying turn him face and at least turn one of the other guys heel. Which, in my pick, it would be Ambrose. To me, it would make the most sense the way they're setting it up, especially with the whole Lesnar deal. That would make sense. But I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Because the E has a weird way of spinning things. But I certainly wouldn't bring Rollins face yet. I mean, get him away from the Authority and let him become his own heel rather than the crybaby heel if you do anything like that. But I certainly wouldn't just yet, because I think if you do, especially if you don't bring Ambrose heel immediately, you almost have to have like the Shield having each other's backs, because Ambrose and Reigns have each other's backs all the time. So like you almost kind of have to, which I don't think that's a situation they want nor need right now. So
I don't think so, man. I don't think you would. I don't think you would have to. It's like just because he becomes a good guy doesn't mean he didn't attack both those dudes in the back. Then you can stretch that angle out for a couple weeks, and Seth saying he was sorry and he's turned over a new leaf and he understands how much they all meant to him, and you know what I mean. Like then they could just bring that out and drag that out for a while, and then have maybe one of them turn. Or maybe even like within a week. I don't know, man. There's multiple options there. It just seems like to me. Well, I don't know. I guess it would be fine to go ahead and try to turn the Authority face a little bit, because they can. I mean, they're the Authority. They can turn back heel on a dime and not really need explanation for it. So,
well,
yeah, I guess
it does make sense. Face. I'd leave him tweener. Just leave him straight in the middle tweener, and let him stay like that. You know, neutral Authority figure. God forbid WWE did that.
Yeah.
So, but after that, we had King R Trizzle came out. So that was pretty cool. Had a sheet, had a plunger for a scepter, and looked like a Burger King crown, which I thought was pretty cool. He did this cool little spot, I guess, kind of to play off of last week. He got on commentary, and then when Barrett came out, the commentators were like, "Truth, what are you doing here? Like, you're in the match. Like, you got to go." So that was cool. They kind of teased like the whole like R-Truth confusion thing. But
yeah. Which is good. I like that. I like that angle for him. I think it works. I think he pulls it off well. A little bit of comedy is fine. We all know he's not going to get past like maybe at the most the upper mid card. So,
right.
You know, I mean, I can get behind that. I can get behind a little R-Truth push, but it really bothers me that they're. I mean, dude, did he like? Did Barrett like piss in somebody's Wheaties in creative or something? Because they have just buried that guy.
I don't know, but here's the thing. Like, I gave the match an F because R-Truth got the win over Barrett with a roll-up. It was the roll-up of Doom, and like it wasn't even that long into the match. They didn't have that many minutes. But here's the thing. What really kind of saved it for me was that after Barrett hit Truth with a bullhammer and then cut this short, sweet little promo where he's like, you know, he held up his crown. He's like, "This is royalty, and you're making a mockery of it. And now you will all hail King Barrett." So, like, he cut a short little sweet promo to try to save some face. So Barrett looked okay after the loss. But, like, it would have been okay if R-Truth hadn't just beat him. Like, if Barrett beat him and then R-Truth won, like, last night and then Barrett cut that promo, Barrett would have saved a little more face. But going 2 losses in a row cutting the promo, it didn't really save as much face as it should have. You know, so I gave Barrett's promo like a C, like a low C, because it was so short. But you know, he did manage to save a little bit of shine. But the match got an F. Yeah, just meh.
Yeah.
So after that, they had Machine Gun Kelly in the back with some superstars and some divas. Paige kind of interrupted and was saying that, you know, there's going to be a divas meeting in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. Everybody be there, blah, blah, blah. Pointless segment. I dreaded the divas segment from this point forward. So that was like a short little segue. But they followed it up with a Kevin Owens segment, which was pretty good. I gave it 4 out of 5. Kevin Owens' segment, basically saying that Cena disrespected him by shaking his hand instead of leaving like a humble victor. Basically saying Cena was a sore winner, essentially. So since Cena wasn't there, Owens did an open challenge Ziggler came out, so we had Ziggler versus Owens, which Lillian went to announce that it was for the NXT title, and Kevin was like, "Hold up, Blondie, I didn't say the title was on the line." So like that was kind of cool. You know, they worked a pretty good match. The match was okay. I gave it a C plus. It was kind of cool. I mean, it was. Here's the thing. It was. I call it okay. It was actually a very good match. It's just maybe I expected more out of Owens and Ziggler because I saw what Owens and Cena have been doing, and I know that Ziggler is a better ring worker than Cena, so I expected too much out of it. But Ziggler just spent too much time selling to me.
Yeah, I think you just got that. I think you just got that idea stuck in your head, man. I think you got to stop listening to so many Stone Cold podcasts. Because I mean, the more I watch it, the more the selling makes sense to me, honestly.
Well, no. It's not that his selling doesn't make sense. It's just that Ziggler, I wish would get more offense in. Like, and I agree to it. And actually, I haven't listened to a Stone Cold podcast in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's been a little while. But
yeah, but I mean, go ahead.
No, it's just like, I mean, they had some cool spots. Like, it was cool. Like, okay, Owens sold the DDT pretty well. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, he didn't do it as well as Neville, but he didn't sell it terribly like everybody else. So it was kind of cool. There was a cool spot where Ziggler was in the corner and Owens went for the cannonball, but Ziggler got up and super kicked him right before he flipped. So, like, that was cool. And there were some cool spots. It's just, and like I was telling you earlier, I kind of nitpicked because Ziggler was selling a lot before the commercial, got offense in, and had control going into the commercial, came back and was just back under Owens' thumb. And I guess that's kind of like the typical commercial formula, have the heel being on top and dominant coming back from the commercial break. I know they usually do the replays and things like that. But I don't know. I guess maybe I just like Ziggler too damn much and I just want him to freaking win. I don't know. You know, I just want to watch him kick some ass and do some cool spots. That's all I want. Is it too much to ask?
Right.
So it was a good match. Owens did an awesome release German. Like, almost made Brock Lesnar's look like a bitch. Like,
oh wow.
It was a you remember? Do you remember before Kurt Angle did the Benoit Germans? Like when he used to do the single release.
Yeah.
Owens did a straight single release, and Ziggler flew like all the way to the other freaking corner. Like, it was ridiculous, cool looking.
Wow.
So it was a cool German.
Yeah.
Owens kicked out of the zigzag, and obviously, and Ziggler took a loss after the pop-up powerbomb. So, but I gave it a C plus, B minus. So it was awesome. Cool match. So I don't remember. Did you say that you had caught that one, or was that one of the ones you missed while you were packing?
That's one of the ones I missed, unfortunately.
That's all right. Go back and watch that shit because it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
So after that, though, my low of the night is the Divas segment. Paige's segment with the Divas followed.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hate what they're doing. I hate how they're basically making it Paige trying to overthrow the Bella's empire and no one helping her. My thing is like I said, like, Paige, for Christ's sake, you're the anti-diva. Stop asking these people for help. Kick the shit out of the Bellas and call it a day. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
Like, that's how, like, book her like her character is. Like, her character is the anti-diva, and you put her on Total Divas, and now she's going glitz and glam and all this stuff. I mean, she's still Paige. She's still probably top 3 in all of WWE, and I'm including NXT in that. I give her top 3.
Yeah.
And of course that list of 3 is debatable. But it's just I hate that it's being resorted to this, and this segment is so stupid.
Well, they're probably just using this as a window to bring up the NXT girls. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to me too. It would make sense for Paige to bring up an NXT girl, probably Charlotte, hopefully Charlotte. But I keep hearing rumors that Charlotte's staying in NXT and that they're going to do this huge program with Dana Brooke, and she's going to help put Dana Brooke over, which kind of sucks to me. Who knows? It could be like Sasha Banks, though,
I'm down for any of those four. I am down for whether
Yeah.
it's Becky, Sasha, Bailey, or Charlotte. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I'm
Because the
fine with
thing
that
is,
too.
I mean, they're instant faces. I mean, even Owens is a face right now. So anybody who gets called up from NXT is pretty much an instant face right now.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, so that's cool. I'm hoping that's what happens. They're making it into like catty bitching instead of just women's wrestling, and I hate that. So I gave that an
Yeah.
F, and it was my low of the night. So after that was Kane versus Orton, which I mean it was a decent match. Another a plus for me for Kane and Orton for as many times as we've kind of seen it. It was decent paced. Kane's looking still pretty fresh in the ring. But again, kind of like you were saying about Sheamus, Kane kind of does the same spots all the time. Of course, it's 7 feet tall, 300 pounds. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah.
So, Sheamus got his little payback where he came out and he cost Orton the match. Kane made it a no holds barred match after Sheamus came out. Sheamus hit the bro kick, and then and Kane got the pin off the bro kick. So Kane really didn't gain off of it.
Yeah.
For those who missed the little corner screen there, Daniel's dog just saw our video, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So after that, that
Yeah. I caught that match. I actually
Okay,
thought it was
cool.
pretty good too. I thought that Kane did look like there's just something about him like he's got more pep in his step in general. I feel like maybe he just cares more about his work right now. The Sheamus interference was pretty predictable. So I gave the match a C overall though.
Yeah. I mean, it was your typical Kane match and your typical Orton match, really. But the Sheamus interference, again, I've said it before last week. I said it again. I said it not 10 minutes ago, so I'm going to say it again. Not excited for Orton and Sheamus. I don't think anybody is. I mean, I hope they don't do it.
Open the show, dude. It better open the show.
I hope they don't do it. I hope they segue away from it somehow.
They're gonna do it, man. It's set in stone at this point.
So yeah, I wish they wouldn't. After that though, Kane and Seth had a little segment backstage, which was pretty good. And in my notes here, I have great heel work from Seth so far tonight. They teased. They did some more teasing of Kane's face turn. Like Seth started bashing Kane compared to Paul Bearer, Undertaker, and all these guys, and Kane just almost flipped his shit. So I'm steadily hoping for the Kane face turn on Seth. But if they turn the whole Authority face, I don't know. I mean, with Brock already coming back, I don't know what they're gonna do. As far as like with Kane, is he even gonna be a viable face at this point, or is he just?
Yeah, because Lesnar's a face now. I mean, and there's no way around that. So it's like then you have a stable of baby faces, but it's the corporate way. It's weird, but it's possible. I mean, I definitely think they're gonna keep rolling with this whole Kane tweener, but mostly baby face like style thing. That's what I see happening at least.
Yeah, I could see that. So. Big Show versus Miz was next, and Ryback was on commentary. And literally the first thing I wrote was, "This screams gimmick ending to me." And sure enough, we got a gimmick ending.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I will say I liked Big Show in this match. Miz was doing the whole runaway thing, and Big Show faked a knee. Like he faked the knee as he was getting in the ring. He was like selling a knee injury. Miz went to capitalize, and Big Show just grabbed him and drug him all the way to the corner. So, it was something different from Big Show. I don't think I've seen Big Show fake an injury like that to try to get close to
it was good. It was very good. I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, we don't hate on Big Show and his work. It's just he's overused. Like, you don't need to – like, he's one of the guys that you should be using like Bray Wyatt. Like, where Wyatt should be on TV building his angle every single week, Big Show should be on TV once, twice a month. Have it, I'm not saying use him like the Undertaker. I'm saying like put him on like the exact same way you've been using Wyatt. Put him on every other pay-per-view. Only giving kind of meaningful things, and he's so big that it doesn't matter if he wins or loses anyway, which is how you're building Bray Wyatt. Like literally just flip them and start using Wyatt more on TV. And then, the value of both guys is going to go up. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I gave this match decent, because again, I've been, for some reason, there's just something about The Miz that I like. I think the whole three-way angle is kind of weird, but I think it's kind of a way for them to keep Ryback looking strong, but lose the belt. You know what I'm saying? And which I feel like is inevitably going to happen.
You think Miz is going to take it from him?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to either be Miz or Show, but I don't think. I mean, I think Miz will end up with the belt at the end of this like little triple angle, but I don't know if it's going to be like the first one.
Right. I don't like the countout finish. I mean, I guess for the Miz it works. Just I don't like the Ryback Big Show stare off, and Big Show just seems to forget about the 10 count thing. Again, one of those suspension of disbelief things. But I gave it a C. I'm like you. I like the Miz a lot more as a heel than as a babyface. I didn't hate on Miz a whole lot. I went into when Miz debuted. Actually, when Miz was on Tough Enough, I was just like, okay, cool, dude from the real world. I know him from the Challenge and Real World. So kid's got a lot to prove, I guess. So yeah, he does great mic work. He does what he needs to do in the ring. He's not a bad worker. He's certainly not the best, but I wish they would get rid of this Ryback Big Show thing. I just
yeah, me too.
I just don't want it, man. There's nothing entertaining about it, But after that, there was a Roman Reigns segment, and that was short and sweet. Roman came out, and he was like, I'm not waiting till Battleground, Bray Wyatt, blah, blah, blah. Let's fight now, blah, blah, blah. Bray Wyatt cut a great promo, basically just saying that him and Roman are the exact same, yet polar opposites, where one was chosen, basically one was chosen to be the man, and the other is the man, basically. That's kind of the gist of the promo. I can't recall all of Bray's promos. They're too philosophical and too many big words for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's the gist of it. And he's just saying, how they're pretty much destined to fight, and Bray's going to destroy Roman, all this stuff. So great heel promo from Bray. As always, I mean, I laugh at the people who are just like, Bray says the same thing every time we hear from him. It's boring, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you stupid.
Yeah.
He's different. He's different. He's not that cookie cutter heel. So I gave that segment a 4 out of 5. I gave it a solid B+, because, Roman kept it short and sweet. He didn't stumble over his words. Bray carried the promo. It was a solid Bray promo. I'm excited to see where both of these guys end up with this program. Like, I'm excited to see who goes over first, second, third if they do multiple matches. I'm excited to see where they go after this. So, Roman's put in good work the last 4 or 5 months. So, I'm excited. I'm truly excited to see this feud more than I would have been if you'd have told me they were facing each other, before the Royal Rumble. If you told me we were getting Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, I'd have just groaned.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a good way to wrap that up. And then we followed it with Paige versus the Bellas in a handicap match.
Yeah, I purposefully didn't watch this. Like, I came back from like a little packing thing, and I checked out the TV, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep packing.
You know what though? The ring work wasn't bad. The ring work was not terrible. It's just I hate the angle so much I can't even grade it, man. Like the ring work was fine. The angle is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, but after that came my highlight of the night, and I'm not talking about the music. Let me preface this. I am not a Machine Gun Kelly fan. Corey and I were joking that Machine Gun Kelly can be on a Raw only in Ohio because he's only a big deal in Ohio.
Yeah.
So we just, I went into it. I was like, okay, he's gonna perform his song. He's gonna do whatever. Uh, I put on my notes. I was like, dear God, this woman needs to get that flanger off of her microphone right now, because you could just hear the flanger layering her voice. That's just the music nerd in me. But his performance was fine. When I saw Kevin Owens hit the stage, I was like, ooh, it's gonna be fun. And it was. Machine Gun Kelly took a powerbomb bump off of the stage through into a table. I popped so hard that I called you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I purposely went back and I rewound on my DVR to watch that spot, and it was epic. I agree. It was awesome. I'm glad that I caught it 2 or 3 minutes late instead of a day late, because it kind of blew up the internet for a day. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I dig it because dude, I feel like without having seen the entire show, I feel like they did a really great job of kind of casting their web as far as they could, especially having Johnny Manziel there and have Rollins make fun of him, and then the MGK spot that was huge. But yeah, I mean, I thought that whole spot was A++ to me.
Yeah, they did smart this week more than they have in previous cities, where they've really capitalized on the celebrities, or at your athletes and your celebrities. They really capitalized on them and utilized them in the correct way this week. And I mean, you cap it off with Machine Gun Kelly saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take a bump, and I'll take a power bomb through a table."
Yeah.
Whatever. So that was kind of cool. That was my highlight of the night. I gave that I gave that whole powerbomb thing a 5 out of 5. Props to Machine Gun Kelly for taking it. Owens made it super safe. It was a super safe bump. It looked like there was it looked like there was a lot of extra padding under that table for obvious reasons, but it looked super safe. The cameras were in the right spot at the right time. MGK's crew got him out of there pretty quick to where he didn't have to sell a whole lot. So, I mean, all he had to do was lay there and then let himself be carried out. So that, it worked perfect. It was get out there, take the bump, and be done. So that was kind of cool. So after that, after my little mark out fest, we had New Day versus Primetime Players and Neville, which this was great. I liked this match from start to finish.
Yeah, I got to check out this one, and it was pretty good. I mean, it was weird to have a 6-man and it not really be. I mean, I guess it was technically the main event, right? I mean, wasn't it the last match? But I do feel like it wasn't. It didn't feel like a classic SmackDown 6-man. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same exact formula, and it worked really well. I thought everybody really shined in the match, honestly.
Yeah, I personally liked how Kofi was true to the rib injury, and he actually sold it throughout the whole match. Not even when he was taking rib bumps, but even just off of his own offense, he was like, "Oh, ribs hurt, gonna tag out, get out real slow." He sold it through the whole match, and it worked because he took the finish. He took the side buster from Titus. He took the fireman's carry to gut buster from Darren Young and the Red Arrow. So I mean, he took all 3, and he took the pin. All 6 guys looked pretty good throughout the night, even with New Day taking a loss. I mean, I agree. I don't think they lose any shine because of it. They take a loss. They don't. They take a loss, but they're still going to get their rematch for their titles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think. I don't want to say I think they'll get them back, because I think that the WWE is really high on Darren Young and Titus O'Neil as a couple. Titus just won that award, and Darren Young, they've been kind of high on since he did his little coming out of the closet thing. Yeah. I think the Primetime Players are going to have a title run for a while. It'd be cool if they bring up a heel tag team, maybe a face team beats Blake and Murphy, and maybe Blake and Murphy come up. I can't think of another heel team that would come up. Bring up the Vaudevillains. That's all I can say. Vaudevillains. Bring up the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, totally. But I agree, man. I felt like it was a good way to get everybody shine. And it's very rare that they book it to where they can have a tag team match or any kind of multiples match and have everybody really retain and not just retain but get shine off of the match. So that was really nice to see. I gave that match overall a B plus.
Yeah, I'm the same. I thought it was smart to let Neville get the pin rather than have primetime players pin New Day again.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought that was smart booking there, which WWE and smart booking are very rare fragments in one sentence these days.
Right.
But it worked out. Ambrose and Kane had a little segment backstage after that, and basically, Ambrose saying, hey, you're not what you used to be. You weren't world champion. The Hellfire and Brimstone guy was. Where's that guy? I like him. So that's kind of cool. More teasing face turn for Kane.
Yeah.
And more furthering the Kane versus Seth angle. So I liked that. I gave that a B plus, A minus, just because it was a short, sweet segment between the two.
Yeah.
And then I won't say the main event, but it is the main reason I watched Raw tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I made sure to catch that. I made sure to switch back. And I will say, too, that I think that we're probably going to end up getting Ambrose versus Kane at the pay-per-view, which will be – I feel like will actually be a pretty decent match, even though they kind of people will probably groan about it. But I think that'll actually be pretty good. And then, of course, the main event angle. The best for business promo. It's classic, but it was good. It was like, not cheesy. They did – it was really well played, man. It was really well played. I loved it. I thought the way that Seth Rollins sold the reaction to was phenomenal. His selling was amazing. It was really good. Good pop. I love that Heyman didn't even have to say anything, but his presence, like there were a few camera angles where you could see him kind of like leaning on the first rope and just like that Heyman grin, and it like made like. Dude, Heyman doesn't even have to talk to be in a spot. He can just smile or grin that little, like, that little schemy way. And it makes, dude, like, that right there was like, boom, that's a poster. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was great, man. Great way to end Raw. Great way to end Raw.
Absolutely. The segment was a 5 for me. Like, 5 out of 5. It was an A. Triple H was on point with his heel work, a great promo about, the investment, diamonds, all that stuff. Like, his promo was perfect. Lesnar coming out was obviously the pop of the night. Just because everybody knew he was there. It was leaked that he was there. And, they knew it was coming, but it was still the pop of the night. And to your point about Heyman, all he had to do was lean over and shake Triple H and Stephanie's hand.
Yeah.
And the announcers brought it up once, and the cameras stayed with Heyman for like the next 45 seconds, and just showed the smirk on his face, him leaning against the ropes. It was there. He didn't have to open his mouth, not once. Lesnar didn't have to open his mouth. Speaking of Lesnar, I love Lesnar's shirt. I want them to make a shirt like that for every city that Lesnar appears in.
They should just make a shirt like that with every city's name and just set you can buy them online and just put in the city that you're from.
Yep. Just because I will buy a Suplex City, New Orleans, Louisiana shirt if they make one. I'm just saying, it's happening. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Lesnar Rollins. I thought they were gonna wait until SummerSlam with it, but I'm happy that it's happening, man.
Yeah, me too.
The thing is here, like, I guess now becomes really kind of the fantasy booking thing because, okay, well, let's get this out of the way. I gave Raw a C+ for the night. There were a couple things that I really didn't like that were big enough dislikes for me to not give it a B.
Right.
But it was a solid C+ show. There were a lot of high points. Really, really good promo work. Aside from the Divas angle, really good promo work last night.
Yeah.
I think the promos carried it more than anything. They were good. There were good matches, but there weren't stellar matches. There were good matches.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. From what I saw, I would have gave it about the same grade too.
Yeah. So I gave it a C plus. Hopefully we'll get our B or our A, leading up into SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is one of their big money shows. So hopefully we'll be getting some A's out of Raw pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, and this time we actually have 5 weeks between pay-per-views, so that that helps. You know what I mean? Like that helps to kind of slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, because God forbid they need to do that. They need to slow it down, not just 2-week build, 2-week build, 2-week build.
Right.
So here's the thing. I think so Lesnar and Rollins is happening now. I think Lesnar's going to walk out with the title and then start the Rollins and Triple H feud going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, probably, because I mean we gotta get back to Triple H and The Rock before Mania.
Yeah, because I see that happening too. But my thing is Brock's going to win the title at Battleground. I mean, I can't see Brock losing to Seth Rollins clean. You know what I mean? Nope. Maybe a dirty finish, but I can't see Seth winning clean over the guy that beat The Undertaker. I
agree. I agree.
I don't see it happening. And then from that point, like, good speak. Man, tag now. But like from this point, like, what do you do with Brock at SummerSlam? Like, does Rock? I mean, because you have to do the Triple H and Rollins thing at some point. Because I mean, if you're gonna turn Triple H face with the Authority, it kind of has to happen. And apparently, it's pretty rumored. I
think that they're gonna do I think they're actually probably gonna end up using Bray and Reigns and turning that into probably Reigns versus Lesnar. I don't think the Bray Reigns program is gonna last very long. I mean, 5 weeks in a pay-per-view is a solid amount of time. I mean, considering what they've been doing for the past 3 months for Bray Wyatt, 5 weeks of TV and a pay-per-view, that makes sense. He'll probably lose and they'll keep him off TV for a while because that's how they use him. And then Reigns will go on to face Lesnar at SummerSlam and lose again. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't see what else they do unless they. They could maybe put Ziggler in there with him. But the thing is that, dude, if you look at Lesnar's like rap sheet of guys that he's been working, it's been all like top tier guys. Like it hasn't even been a single like. I mean, it's not like he didn't even work Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been even like, there's like the stratosphere of legends and like, the Rocks, the Stone Colds, the Cenas, those dudes. Like that's what he's been doing. Like he has not touched any other like lower guy except for Roman Reigns. So to me, the only logical way you go is Roman Reigns again for a rematch. But I could be wrong. You could put him in there with Orton maybe, but Orton's face now too. That wouldn't make sense. You're definitely wanting to keep Lesnar face. You could put him in there with Owens if he demolishes John Cena. That would be awesome. Owens Lesnar would be phenomenal.
That'd be cool. But what about this? Because you just kind of like touched on it, but you went the other way. So you're going to keep Lesnar face, right? I mean, I think that's a given at this point. Lesnar's going to stay face. Instead of having Reigns versus Lesnar again, what if Bray beats Reigns and faces Lesnar?
That would work too. Like, I don't think they're going to do that, but that would
I don't
work.
either, but I want it.
Yeah. No, that would work too. Either way, I think that one of those two guys, I would hope that Wyatt would, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Reigns that works with Lesnar at SummerSlam, man. It just makes sense.
There's a poster for it. There was a poster leaked for it because isn't SummerSlam in it's like in like New Jersey, like the New Jersey, New York area?
I'm not sure.
I saw a poster.
What was the leak on the poster?
It showed Lesnar and Reigns.
Oh yeah, see, that makes sense to me.
But I didn't see a title. Like there was no picture of the title on it. So I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. But I just think it makes more sense to have a face versus heel dynamic, especially if it's going to be for a title. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you're right.
So I'm with you on either Wyatt or Owens as far as like if he's going to work someone that's not in that super top stratosphere, because I mean, there's really not many left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and not many part timers for SummerSlam that for Mania. So like, you know, it's like who? Okay, here we go. Conspiracy theory time. Conspiracy theory. I posted on our group a few minutes ago. Does anybody find it convenient that now all of a sudden WWE is showing CM Punk on like everything now? Like everything Chicago related, CM Punk. Everything former champion, former cash-ins, CM Punk. Dude, CM Punk return imminent. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna have.
No, he's got a 5-year exclusive deal, dude. He's not, I mean, it'll be at least 2020 before we see CM Punk, but I most certainly think he will most definitely wrestle again. But it's not going to be anytime soon at all. But I agree. But man, yeah, I gotta actually like I gotta get some more stuff going out. We gotta leave tomorrow morning for the road. But that's gonna do it for me, man. I get the show a C+. I'll definitely be back next Monday. I'll be back just in time for our Raw review, and we hopefully will be on time this coming Monday.
Yeah, hopefully we won't be a day late. But if we are, whatever. The internet is there.
It is what it is. Yeah.
That's right. So that's gonna do it for us tonight, guys. Like I said, we're a day late, but we are certainly not $1 short. You guys have a good night. We'll see you all next week.
Peace.